What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. So I'm going to address this real quick because it's actually the crux of the entire video. I got a lot of people who are bringing up, and I think it's a valid reason. I think it's a valid complaint, but I got a counter argument for that. But I got a bunch of people who are telling me, damn, Devontae, what's good, bro? You keep doing a bunch of AEW content lately, more in particular AEW Hate, quote-unquote, content lately. What's good, bro? You ain't diverse? You ain't got other shit that you have to talk about? Look, there's only two viable, visible companies when it comes to professional wrestling scene every single week. And only one of those companies are constantly in the news. Like, I know I touched on this plenty of times before, but I feel like I have to reiterate this all the fucking time. Hopefully this is the last time. That's why I'm doing it in the very beginning of the video, because like I said, it's the crux of the entire video, honestly. Because when I get these comments, like I said, it ain't as if you wrong. We got eyes, we got ears, we notice. You can scroll down my playlist in the past couple of days and you can see that I've been doing a bunch of AEW hate content as of late. But why do you think that happens to be the case, huh? Am I bringing it upon anyone else, huh? Or am I just noticing? You know, the people who usually bring these things up, it's never a counteract to the video in itself, right? It's never actually focusing on the points in the video and maybe highlighting it and then maybe, I don't know, doing your best to not, at the very least, on your part, enable that behavior from Tony. If you happen to like AEW, right? Because here's my thing. On the opposite end, I do have people who are telling me, damn, Devontae, just give up. Don't watch AEW anymore. Do you not hear how I open up my videos? My name is Devontae, and I sacrifice my time so you don't have to. It's my whole entire motto. Like, I gotta watch these shows so y'all don't have to watch these shows, man. That's the whole point behind it. What I want out of AEW is a reason to want to watch your shows. What I want out of AEW is a reason to sit there and engage with your shows. What I want out of AEW is to sit back, notice what you're currently doing at the moment, and say to myself, damn, I can't wait to come back next week. I had someone ask me, I don't know if it was today or the day before yesterday, what is my purpose when it comes to watching AEW? And I'll take that answer, or I'll take that question, and I'll flip it, and I'll tell you what I want out of professional wrestling in today. And I'll tell you the same answer that I told him, not verbatim, but essentially, I want to be able to look at a character and be like, damn, I fuck with that guy. I relate to that guy. He's my favorite. And then I want to follow that guy throughout his weeks and weeks and weeks of endeavors, going up against a strong opposition. The strong opposition has to be credible. The guy who I like has to be credible. There are certain things that they have to do that make themselves stand out, so eventually when they go head up, it feels special. And that thing that they do every week to make them feel even more special, I want to come back the following week and I want to follow up on what they've been doing. And then eventually when they make it to the pay-per-view, I want to be able to pay for that pay-per-view. Now, in the midst of wanting to pay for that match to watch it at a pay-per-view, I will like it if you didn't give me any spoilers and have them touch too often or do anything in regards to having a match before the pay-per-view. And also all the moves that they do before the pay-per-view inside all of these matches, I would like for these moves to not only be credible, but I would like to have some type of mental note to know that right there, that's a special move. That right there, that move that he did to that guy right there, when he goes up against this other special guy that I like or that I oppose, I want to be on the edge of my seat, and I want each move to be in anticipation as to whether or not that match is going to end. You see how these things build up and they kind of meld in together? You see how easy, how I just explained it, that's how professional wrestling was back in the days. Everybody felt special, all the moves felt special, the location, the place, everything felt special. Now you take that and you multiply it by 8 and then you give it to us in 2.5 to 3 hours. That's how professional wrestling used to be as far as pay-per-views. And you take 2 hours, 2 shows to get that over. And for the people who are trying their best to get a stepping stone, you give us 1 hour of Sunday Night Heat to kind of just get adjusted to who is going to eventually be that next person that you want to keep your eyes out on top of the fact that they're highlighting the stuff that happened on Raw and SmackDown to keep it fresh in your mind. Or they're getting ready to build up to a pay-per-view, so they're using that time to still kind of give you some highlights on who this new talent is going to be as far as who you should be on the lookout for, with some kick-ass music, some kick-ass presentation to go along with it. Folks, you want to know why I go after AEW? This is a prime example why I go after AEW. Forbidden Door for tonight. Forbidden Door. You ready for this? You ready for this? We have over, hang on, including the pre-matches, we have over 14 matches for Forbidden Door. A show that I doubt, hell, even some of you even knew was going to be on tonight. We have over 14 matches. And for those who are going to be like, well, Devontae, I mean, are you counting all the shows all together? Yes, I am. But do you want me to separate the pre-show matches from the main card? Okay, we can do that. We have over 10 matches. 10 matches on the main card. 14 matches all together. Now, am I over-exaggerating when I talk about AEW now? Huh? Mind you, I just want to bring this up real quick for some of you guys who are unaware. Double or Nothing, which I would argue is probably the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, considering it was their introduction show, but at the same time, I know the attendance for All In is probably a little bit of a bigger deal. All Out is probably a little bit of a bigger deal, depending if they're like a co-package deal, but let's just say Double or Nothing is their second biggest pay-per-view of the year, right? I would make that argument. The second biggest pay-per-view of the year, never mind the attendance, the buy rate was 134,000. That was the buy rate. 134,000. Do you want to put that into context? The previous year was 140,000, which would still be considered a little bit low. The previous year before that was 155,000. Are you starting to get it? Are you starting to get it? Your second biggest pay-per-view of the year will probably be considered one of the lowest buy rates about 2 or 3 years ago. And you're going to give us Forbidden Door, which I can only assume, especially going off of the ratings decline, it's not going to do that much better. So rather than giving us compelling television to build up to a unique pay-per-view, you know, you could have been using this time right here because you're not doing 12 pay-per-views a year. You could be using this time to maybe getting us prepared for All In, right? Giving us some nice, solid 2 hours worth of television. You got 2 shows. We can go into Collision and then continue this. You can do special matches. It's not that you can't do any of these things. It's just that you refuse to do any of these things. Your idea, rather than giving us 7, maybe even 8 at most, max, solid, good matches for 3 hours, is to instead give us 5 hours of the nothingness. No one cares about this card from a casual viewing standpoint outside of the main event. And even then, I'm stretching that. I just don't get it. Why is it bad to notice? Why are you considered a hater for noticing? These are not good things. Your attendance, your viability, noticing is not a bad thing. In fact, you noticing that I'm noticing makes you, wait for it, an enabler. It's another ad hominem to obfuscate from the issue so you don't have to be man enough about it. You see, even the verbiage about it just makes it even that much more crazier. But I guess man enough to want to defend the point of view from AEW as far as why it happens to be in the shitter that it's in right now. And yes, I'm going to continue making videos noticing, because it feels like no one else is noticing. You know, you want to fixate on these little small pinpoint points about this guy being too small or this match going too long, which, by the way, valid points, and keep bringing it up, right? You have people who either want to focus on the things that I feel isn't really painting a broader picture, although you definitely should be hitting on that. And then you have other people who want to defend it to its death, which is your right. That's fine. Go ahead and do that. Like I said, I'm done with the whole tribalistic label. I'm gonna be as tribalist as I can possibly be. You gotta fight fire with some of these people, man. If they can be tribalist about their defense of a company, then why the fuck can I not be tribalist in defense of not only the company that I support, but use them as a measuring stick to bury you every fucking time? Because I think they're the perfect example of how professional wrestling should be right now, at least on Raw. At least certain given stories, they're doing amazing at it right now. I want you to be just as good as this company, and if that means I have to be a tribalist about it, then so be it. I don't see what's so bad about it anyways. It took me a couple of months, maybe a couple of years to finally realize that you guys don't care about tribalism. That's just another ad hominem tactic in order to divert from the actual issue as is. You guys picked up on that, right? Anytime you hear a professional wrestler talk about tribalism, oh, tribalism, that's such a bad thing. Tribalism is such a bad thing. Oh, really? Okay, help me out here, thing. If tribalism is such a bad thing, then why do you never hold accountable the biggest tribalist in the entire IWC? That being your boss. In fact, you defend his positions, which are incredibly tribalist, making you just as much of a tribalist. You can't take these people for their word. They have no credibility. They have no honor. They have no pride whatsoever. You have people like Matt Hardy, people like Jeff Hardy, who literally, not even so much Jeff, but more so Matt, who he outright went after Jim Cornette and all his sycophant followers last year for going after the Young Bucks and AEW for their terrible creative and their terrible decision making, right? And as soon as he gets let go, right, as soon as his contract it expires, right, he goes to TNA. What's the first thing that he does? He talks shit about AEW, no different than us. And no matter how many euphemisms you want to use, you have a problem with AEW, no different than us. Only difference is our language is a lot more stronger than yours. But don't pretend we're in a different party. And you know this to be the case. You knew this to be the case. But because you worked for the company, you're not going to hold them to the fire. And here's the thing. I don't blame you. But like I said, though, don't pretend to be a shill. Just shut the fuck up and stay in your own corner. You don't want a part of any of this, then don't take part of any of this. That's as far as how I look at it. But that's the level of honor that we talk about amongst the AEW faithful. You know, like I said, there's always an ulterior motive when it comes to these people. They look at you and they ask, why are you noticing? Stop noticing. I'm going to keep hitting on this point so many times until it gets embedded in your brain. Whether it's the wrestlers who do it because they get paid by Tony to do it, or whether it's the fans who do it because it's not, wait for it, you ready? You heard this before? It's not for the love of AEW, it's for the hate of WWE. It's what it is, and that's where it's always gonna be. You see the numbers declining, no different than how I'm seeing the numbers declining. You see the audiences inside the arenas not packing as like they used to back in the days, just like I'm seeing the audience members not packing into the arenas that they used to be in back in the days. You see how they're positioning their champions, just like how I see them positioning their champions. You see the presentation of the product and know that it's nowhere near close, and it's not even as if it was good back then, but it's not even close to 2021 standards, let alone today's standards. Just like I see it, right? Hell, even the boss himself came out on Twitter a couple of months ago and said that he wants to get the product back on track like how it used to be back in 2021. That's not me acknowledging that. That's your boss. That's your hero. That's your pack leader, Tony Khan, acknowledging all this. So why is it bad when I notice it? Huh? Maybe you don't know this. Maybe some of you don't know this, but I used to be a huge AEW fan, at least to the degree that I thought they were better than WWE at one point. Back in 2021, no less. Yeah, I was there. I was right there. I held both companies accountable, no different than what I do right now. But understand that I did like AEW more than WWE back in 2021. So it's not as if there's a credibility issue with me. It's because, once again, I'm noticing. I'm seeing the decrease in the product. I'm seeing what's currently going on right now with the consumption of the product. I see the direction that they're currently going in right now, which is a failing direction. Again, why do I have to be the one to notice the hard truths? But AEW fans and the people surrounding their little circle They don't notice it. They don't see it. You see it just like I see it. You just don't want to call it out. I can think of a shit ton of reasons why you don't want to call it out, but that's what it is, though. And then you get other people who are saying that you're obsessing over the issue. It's not obsessing over the issue, bruh. It's only 2 wrestling companies. It's only so far you can go with either one, man. One happens to be in the news about their Instagram pick of the week. The other one happens to be in the news because they're calling people bots for going in the comment section and saying how bad the company is. One company happens to be going out there promoting the pay-per-view card. The other company is telling you, hey guys, Big Bang Theory is over with. You can come check out the show now. One company is going out there and they're posting stupid ass mundane pictures like wrestlers taking pictures with fans. The other company, on the other hand, is calling their fans sickos. You get where I'm going with this? And it's not as if this is like a once in a while occasion. Like maybe sometimes you would get something happening once every month, once every 2 weeks at the very least. Now this shit is continuously, every day, at most every 2 or 3 days. There's always something stupid coming out of that company. And then they want to swap it up. And then they'll talk about the situation in WWE. And then A, pretend as if WWE hasn't capped that situation like the Vince McMahon stuff. Or B, be hypocritical about the situation and pretend that they themselves are going to go through the same shit they're going after the company for, whether it's the Vince McMahon stuff while ignoring Chris Jericho, which, by the way, I'm not saying Jericho did anything wrong. I'm just talking about the situation in comparison, or talking about the stuff that happened with all the bad allegations. But dude, I mean, how many allegations do you have currently in your company right now, broyo? Like, you yourself can't even keep up with your own philosophy without contradicting yourself. But like I said, that's the noticing part, right? You say you don't want to copy off of WCW because you don't want to be like them as far as their mistakes. You recognize how good of a company they are, but at the same time, you don't want to fall into the same trap that got them taken off of television. But what's the first thing that you do, huh? Never mind the fact that you copied their entire aesthetic. Never mind that you went to the same television network that kicked them off of television. Okay, cool. Whatever the case may be. Maybe I'm grasping at straws, but am I grasping at straws by saying that you giving actual legitimate creative control? Never mind the amount of money that you're paying these guys, which, by the way, that was another bad thing about Eric Bischoff, was that he was called a money mark and he was surrounding himself by professional wrestlers because he had no real friends. What are you doing right now, Tony? The creative control. What are you doing right now, Tony? And mind you, it was bad when Eric did it, but at least he did it with actual stars. You're doing it with these people right here. But like I said, noticing. I'm going to keep bringing that word up. I'm going to put it in the title of the video. Noticing. You can't do that within the IWC. And then if you do it too many times, you get called obsessed for it, even though there's only 2 wrestling promotions. I just don't know what to say, man. Just sit back and just take it then, right? Sit back and just take it. And then eventually the company goes out of business because you guys and your stupid fucking ultimatums make no sense whatsoever. Either A, you sit back and you just enjoy the product for what it is, right? And then you bring up some nonsense about living your life and go get a life or touch grass. Because what? We're dissing a wrestling product, bro? Does that make any sense to you whatsoever? Wrestling company's bad. Go touch grass. Nah, bro. That's called a projection. You go do that first, man. Just the fact that you even bring that up. You go do that, bro. You want us to go touch grass for dissing the wrestling company, bro? Come on now, man. We can't chew gum, rub our tummies, walk, breathe, shit at the same time? Well, probably no one can, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it ain't a hard thing to do, bro. It ain't. It's just a derogatory term because you yourself can't defend the point of what the hell's being brought up in front of your face. Stop getting mad at people for looking at this company and noticing. It's bad. It's bad. It's a bad product, and the leader is doing a bunch of dumb things. And we got to call out that leader. There is no just leaving. So what? We just leave, and then the company goes out of business listening to you dumb fucks? Then you just by accident, unironically killed the company with your stupid fucking advice more than I can ever do it. Make it make sense. Stop enabling him doing dumb shit. Forbidden Door has 14 matches. Why? Why? Oh, to play up to the niche audience? I don't understand. Niche audience, but we're going to right now. We're getting ready. AEW is getting ready right now to restructure their contract deal for their TV, and you want to play up to the niche audience? That makes sense to you? Nah, it doesn't make sense. But whatever it means to try to get you to not notice, it's got to be done, right? All right, keep that energy. We'll see where that gets you in about 5 years. As always, my name is Devontae, and unfortunately, because like I said, I sacrificed my time so you don't have to, I'll be back later on tonight for the Forbidden Door 2024 review. May God have mercy on my soul, right? Not on y'all souls, because y'all ain't got to watch this shit. You can watch me watch this shit. But pray for me. Pray for me. I don't know what God you believe in. Don't care. But look out for your boy tonight. Because it's going to be a struggle. Man, I'm gonna need it, man. I'm gonna need it. Let me get out of here, though. Deuces, P. Ice.